All right, so we got Coachella happening this weekend. We've got boho beautiful style totally on the brain right now, and tonight we're focusing on your hair. So here with Dressed Up and Doable Festival Braids is hairstylist Dayna Goldstein. Great to have you here, hon.
Thank you.
And you
so
already
much.
rocking like the festival look, which is
I love a braid.
the braid and the bold hue as well, darling.
Thank you.
All right, so when it comes to festival hair, you predict braids again will be on points, but not just any braid.
Not just any braid.
Okay,
Braids are always fun for festivals. So over the years, we've been seeing a lot of flower crowns, a lot of sweet, soft, very girly kind of looks, but this year we're kind of trying something new, a little bit more bold, a little bit more sexy and edgy.
Edgy?
Yes.
And they entail like some accessories and even piercings. What? Yeah, so piercings within braids, which is pretty cool, and we've seen some celebrity inspiration of it as well. So there you got Christina Aguilera rocking it, Shay Mitchell as well. That is so cool. Actually, Dempy's doing
the Grande!
we know that gal.
Shout out to my sibling on National Sibling Day. I love you so much.
Aw.
And she looks fierce.
That is so
She looks amazing.
So good. So how do you suggest that girls could and should rock this look, especially for something like festival, like Coachella?
So for festivals, I think a lot of girls feel about braids, like no matter how short or long their hair is, they're not sure if they can pull any kind of look off.
But you can get it on it.
You can do it. I
Cool.
mean, it's all about texture, putting a little spray in and then playing it up, you know?
And it doesn't have to be perfect, so if you can't braid to a T, don't worry, of course Dayna here does. So actually she gave us some inspiration and is showing us some ways that we can incorporate it. So before the show, she started in on our gal Amanda's braid and breaking it down for us. So give us the behind the scenes deets. So you're putting in some texturizing spray using a little orbre right there.
So basically what I did here on Amanda was I prepped her with some texturizing spray, and then I went in with the T3 iron. I always like to use a 1-inch for this kind of look, but you can kind of play it up with size. And then leave the ends out for that more tousled, messier look.
Got it.
I went and took a center part here, and then I just went along and started doing the braids. I went with a Dutch braid for her, which is basically like a reversed French braid. You can kind of go either way, but I think a Dutch braid gives you a little bit more volume here.
Yeah. And I also think it kind of plays it up a little bit more, gives it more emphasis too whenever you've got it kind of popping up from the head. So it's nice to have that double Dutch braid there. So once you finished it off, then you used another elastic tie by Goodies in a clear color to just kind of finish off the braid. Now what? So we've got the two braids on Amanda. Let's tilt your head forward just a little bit. So we've got those two double Dutch braids just at the crown, and then how else
So
can we kind
then
of
what
pump it
I
up?
want to kind of play with here is my tail comb, of course, which is always a good tool to have.
Rat tail comb,
And
way
what
to go.
I'm doing here is I'm doing just a little back combing or tease, if you will. And then I'm wrapping the bun around my fingers, and then I'm just gonna secure it with a pin. Some girls maybe don't know that they can secure their buns with their pins, or they're worried that it won't hold still. But I think a pin is more secure rather than a hair tie.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, Coachella, festivals, you're dancing, you're moving around. So you want to make sure that that bun's not going anywhere.
And plus I feel like with bobby pins, it also allows you to kind of place it where you want to. It kind of has like a more tousled, messy effect, but it still can be kept really well in place as well, surprisingly, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we are just throwing in some bobby pins as well, and it just kind of
super
pumps.
easy.
Yeah, it is. And actually, that tip that you used with kind of using that rat tail comb to back comb or tease each side of the end of the braid to then achieve the bun up top is great. Like if you're gonna do like a half up look with a bun up top, ladies, like you can totally give it a little tease like that as well to give it some volume.
And that way we have a little, it's just more to kind of more interest to the hair, make it rough and play with it. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna add in these little piercings that we're talking about. So if you want, you can see how easy it is, Rachel. You can go and grab one yourself.
Okay, so these are the Cousin Jewelry open jump rings. So they're pretty tiny, but they look like a hoop earring.
Earrings, yeah. So we're gonna pierce the braid, essentially, if you will.
Are you
And
ready
just
for this,
by
Amanda?
Twisting the hoop open.
Okay.
And then we went with silver hoops for Amanda, just because she has blonde hair, so it's just gonna stand out a little bit more. And the other good thing is with the piercing braids is you can play it up with the size. So I love the fact that these are tiny little hoops. So when she kind of moves her hair, you may not quite notice that she has something, but then you look a little bit closer and it adds some interest.
That is so
it's pretty
cool.
fun.
And phone a friend, have a girlfriend to like help you out if you want to throw some of these little piercing elements in there, and it's just kind of fun. So I believe for like, you get 120 of these rings for under $6. So clearly you're going to have a ton. So you can just go berserk with like, how you want to go about piercing your braids, but you can also share them with your girlfriends and your guy friends,
Absolutely.
All right, so after you've done that, we've thrown some piercings in there, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can do however you want.
Absolutely.
You're going to finish it off with a little Fido spray, is that correct?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go in and then this is a holding hairspray, just to kind of add in a little bit more of that texture. And then even on the buns here. And then I'm a big fan of pomades.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't know what to do with pomade, but there's a lot of different uses you can get out of it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that pomade in on my finger here and then in my hands.
Awesome. What do you think is the benefit for using it at like an outdoor festival like a Coachella?
So, I mean, it's hot, so your hair is definitely gonna get frizzy. And even though this is a textured look, and that frizz is kind of encouraged, you want a good frizz, not a weather frizz.
Yeah.
So we can kind of play it up, and then it keeps that tousled look. And then even you can go in if you wanted a smoother bun with the pomade or around your hairline here, like for our curly haired girls, if you get a little frizzy, just smooth around your hairline with the pomade, and you're good to go. That way you can kind of keep this look.
Yeah, it smells so like natural and like earthy, which is,
has a nice grip to it too.
Yeah,
really
that's the
nice
Baxter. Baxter clay pomade. So you guys can check out all these products that Dayna used on Amanda's hair below in our style carousel. Girl, you look like you're about to hit Coachella.
Yes.
So cute on you. I love that. And the buns just add a little something, something, Let's check in on the chat real quick, Dayna, to see what's cooking over there. Frankie.
All right, okay, first of all, there's so many compliments on your hair color.
Thank you.
Everyone is loving your hair color, including me. So, like, I'm having a little bit of envy. I might come in with that color tomorrow. Just wait. But True Fish Girly has a question. She has a lot of different layered lengths, and when she does braiding, they tend to come out of the braid. Do you have any suggestions for those like flyaways that stick out?
So just like we were talking about, pomade, I would go in for things like flyaways and then add a little hairspray in. Girls with layers, it's totally fine. It happens, they're gonna come out. Anything that's gonna hold it down, even a harder holding hairspray, that's gonna help with those layers that are gonna poke out.
And also, like, we have been seeing a little bit of that messy hair trend, like on the runways, on fashion shows, like, so it's okay
Messy
if
hair
it
is
doesn't look
fine.
completely
It's
perfect,
in.
Like, just live your life.
Yeah.
Perfectly undone.
And if you really have one of those like pesky ones that just doesn't want to cut like cord,
just pin it.
Just give it a little pin.
Give it a pin.
A little pin will do. All right, so let's hop on over here. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, let's check out our next Bad Mama Jamma braid on Miss Caitlin.
All right.
So before the show, clearly we got a little jump start action going on here. So you sprayed again some texturizing spray on Miss Caitlin, the Blow Pro Textile Dry Texture Spray. And then what else were you doing here?
So what I did was I sectioned out the top, of course, once again with my tail comb, which is always a good tool for a hairdresser or not. And then we're gonna clip the top section out of the way. And I went in, and before we got out here, I added some fun yarn. And basically what's cool about this is it's almost like extensions kinda without having the commitment of extensions.
Let's turn you around there a little bit more there, Caitlin. This is so amazing.
Yeah, so I love this look. And I also kind of hand-picked which colors I wanted to put in her hair based on what she was wearing. So you can always kind of work with your outfit or what your hair color is, all different kinds of yarn. And basically what I did was I took these little sections here, and I'll show you how I did it. Rachel, if you want to try
Do you trust
one,
me?
I
Yeah.
trust you. If you can do it, we can all do it.
Caitlin trusts me.
Yeah.
But this is great because if you want to have I think we're both pulling on the same one.
There you go.
You got it? I think if you want to try out maybe even like a color like Dayna's here, that clearly is a bit of commitment.
It's commitment.
Right?
It's not for everybody. You can't wear it to every office.
Yeah,
but
commitment and a lot of upkeep too, but maybe this is a fun way to get in on the trend without the commitment, and you can just kind of maybe throw a lot of different colors in there. So what's the technique
Absolutely.
now?
So what we're gonna do here is I'm using my tail comb, but you can even just use your fingers.
Okay.
We're gonna pick up a section of hair, a small section of hair, very tiny, but just enough to be able to wrap the yarn around. And then what you're gonna do is literally just like you're tying a shoe,
All right.
you're going to wrap the yarn around this strand of hair. And once you have it done once, I always say double knot it, especially for the girls with the really fine hair who feel like they can't get any kind of grip. Sometimes if you don't secure the yarn tight enough, it may slip right out.
Yeah, you don't want to have your hair on the your colorful hair on the ground.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna do a little double knot action there.
So we'll do it twice.
Sweet.
And then
It's pretty cool.
it's cool. And then you want to make sure you're kind of keeping it close up to the root.
Okay.
And then at the very end, what we're gonna do is just to secure it in is do a little back combing.
Okay.
Got it?
Well, may I borrow?
See, of course.
Cool.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Perfect. So, and also if you can't do this on yourself and you can't really see what's going on behind your hair, always, phone a friend.
Yeah.
You guys can do it on each other.
All right, so now we did that. Okay, so then we're gonna incorporate the braid.
So now I'm
fishtail,
taking
right?
down, so now I'm gonna go in with a fishtail. Fishtails are super easy because, it's really just a 2-strand braid. So, I don't need any perfect part here.
Are we able to do it so we can show our viewers what it looks like whenever you're doing the French tail or the French tail braid over here to John?
Sure.
Yeah, let's turn it this way. Are you
Okay,
able to
so
do a braid
I'll
like
come
that?
over here.
Okay, cool. Just want you guys at home to be able to check it out because it's kind of neat to see the pros in their element doing the thing. And so this is a fishtail braid that we're going to do here. So then we're going to get pops of color from all that yarn that we put in
Right.
underneath Caitlin's
So
hair there.
basically just taking 2 sections of hair here, and if you kind of see, so all a fishtail braid is taking the outer strand of one of the 2 strands and just connecting it with the next. So I try to take about a 1/4 size section of each braid. And that way, you can get if you can get a tighter fishtail braid, you can always go back in and loosen it up for that softer, messier look. And you can see here as I'm braiding, all these colors are pulling through.
That's so cool.
So they're kind of poking through. The fishtail's coming together.
And it's not super obvious. It's not in your face. Of course, you could, give more of a pop of color in there if you would like to have like more emphasis there. But it's just, that's really cool and
It's
unique.
amazing. So you can play around with all different kinds of, material too for this. It doesn't necessarily just have to be yarn. You can play around with ribbon. I've seen some women putting scarves in their hair lately.
Ooh.
Or maybe just pieces of scarves.
Yeah.
So I'm just going on and you can see these colors. I mean, it's like amazing. I love the way it looks. And obviously I like bold colors. I have pink hair. So, like I said, not everybody can really pull that off, especially, just in the everyday.
Right. But it's an easy transition.
But it's
You have
an
a
easy
weekend event. You want to have
transition.
something fun in your
Everybody
hair.
wants to do something different.
Yeah,
for
then when Monday
Coachella.
rolls around, it's like, yeah, you can take it out easily. So very
Yes.
nice. And then once you
So
get to the
then when
bottom
we're
of that,
done, I'm going to grab an elastic, just
Okay.
another clear elastic.
wonderful.
And I'm going to tie it in. Now, you can either choose to cut the yarn before or after. I'm cutting it first just to make sure that I don't cut any of her hair.
That is, we
So
do
be
not
very
want
careful
to do that.
that you don't cut your own hair. And we're just gonna take our scissors here, and I see where her hair is. I'm just gonna pull a little bit out of the way and then do a little beyond that. And then we're just gonna cut the yarn.
So cool.
Amazing.
Very fun.
And there she is.
And if you guys wanted to, you could use some of the extra yarn to go around the base of the hair, add a little bit more color and pop at the bottom to cover that up. There are also all sorts of embellishments for the hair that you can throw in there. I would think this would look great. We were chatting about it earlier in a nice part.
On a part, absolutely. Some cool jewels like this.
Very cool.
Something a little bit more colorful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So these are 2 great options, and of course we've got those down in the style carousel as well. So after you've done that,
And
let's
then I'm
turn
just
Caitlin
gonna
back around to the front, and we have this nice
Come
little
around
dance
here.
going on here, darling.
Get around the chair.
And then maybe like finish it off with some
So
spray.
then I'm going to finish it off with some R&Co hairspray. Now, especially for somebody with finer hair where they can't get that texture, the hairspray is perfect for this look. So you're just going to go ahead and spray the braid in. Once again, in answer to the question about if you have layers and your braid is sticking out, just go a little closer. But I like it a little messier. It smells amazing.
I know that R&Co is like amazing.
love
And so
it.
is the texturizing spray that they have too. So check it out, guys. Frankie,
Yes.
what's cooking?
Okay, so Remy just says she was a little concerned that the yarn might be hard to get off. Is there a special way to get it off, or is it supposed to fall off? Or
So Caitlin actually asked the same thing when I was prepping her and said, how do I get this out? And it's as simple as just pulling the yarn out. There's
Slides.
double knotted. As you guys saw, we made a section, we tied it around. Just when you take your braid out, just tug on the yarn. It's not going to go anywhere, but at least it's secured for the day with the elastic at the end of the braid.
Cool.
Yeah, or just have your roommate, your significant other help you out
There
if
you
you
go.
have a stray.
Somebody get in there.
Your sibling.
Awesome. Thank
For
you so
not
much,
sharing.
Dayna. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Such great inspiration right there. Ladies, thank you for helping us out today.